Hey guys, welcome to our June edition of Wake Up with NFP.
June, of course, is Pride Month, and NFP has a strong belief in diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. So it's essential in everything we do, actually, to the way we have conversations with our clients, have an understanding of what their needs are. We use the idea of diversity, inclusion, equity, and belonging to build out their benefit plans, enroll and educate their employees, and even ways to engage their employees in health and wellness.
So that can also be where those midterm year reviews come in.
Yes, so June is the middle of the year, and that means we meet with a lot of our clients for a mid-year review. And today we're gonna have a special guest come in and explain why mid-year reviews with your broker are so important.
On that note, why don't we get our expert here? Why don't we ask Chris to come in on the conversation?
Absolutely. We are so excited to have our very first special guest for Wake Up with NFP. Everybody please meet Chris Ciesielski, the Managing Director of NFP of Louisiana. Welcome, Chris.
It's a pleasure to be here on the morning show that everyone's talking about.
Hottest morning show out there.
Absolutely.
Yes. So the reason why we have you as a guest today is because, of course, you or our fearless leader, but because it is the middle of the year, we thought it would be a great opportunity to discuss mid-year reviews with your broker. So can you tell us a little bit about why it's so important?
Absolutely. Benefits are usually the second or third largest expense on a company's P&L. And so our perspective here at NFP is, why should you only be talking about that for maybe an hour a year at your renewal meeting? It's just so important that we take some time in the middle of the year to stretch our legs, talk about emerging strategies, talk about issues that may be going on within your company, and take some time away from what can be a very hectic, rushed renewal meeting where we have a lot of ground to cover to talk about those issues away from the renewal meeting so that when we get to that meeting, we're having a very focused conversation.
Right, because when you talk about a very rushed decision in renewal, most people's open enrollment is towards the end of the year with a January 1 effective date. And we know that that's a very busy time personally with the holidays, but also professionally when you're focusing on getting all of your employees enrolled.
And if there's one thing that we hear as complaints about other brokers, it's that this renewal process happens too late in the year. Everything always feels rushed. So how are you to be expected to have 1 hour a year with your advisor to go through all of this material to manage this extremely substantial expense, and you're already feeling like it's too rushed, too late every year? So again, just reinforcing why we think it's important to have some of these discussions in the middle of the year.
I absolutely agree. A rushed decision is anxiety ridden.
Absolutely. Not likely to make a good one, right?
Right. Or just do what you got to do to get through it and deal with the headache later.
Yeah, I think that if you're only having these discussions once a year for maybe an hour, hour and a half with your advisor, it also lends itself to really short-term decision making, and that's not the way that most business owners or CEOs want to make decisions for their business.
Absolutely. So if we have companies that are not our clients yet, who may have an end of the year renewal, but want to change their cadence in their meetings, what do you recommend they do?
Well, hire us and let us get started early. I mean, seriously, we want to start in the middle of the year too, at the very latest really when we're working with a new customer, because we want to have the time to start to understand your company and your company's culture, because not every strategy and every solution is going to work at every company. And we want to understand the underlying issues. One of the things we run into a lot is our plan is really suffering with prescription drug claims, and it's driving up our claims experience, causing bad renewals. But we want to understand that. We want to see the data. We want to have time to absorb that, talk about it with you, talk about emerging strategies, because they are out there, these strategies that we can help you with. But if we don't know the problem, we don't know the cure.
So can you change brokers in the middle of the year?
You can change brokers anytime you want. Sometimes there's a few weeks waiting period depending on who your carriers are and what their policies are, but we really recommend choose the right advisory for your company, choose it out away from your renewal to give that advisor, hopefully us, an opportunity to get to know you have these conversations where we can educate you on emerging strategies in the marketplace. And then, but again, once we get to that renewal meeting, we're having a very focused, productive conversation.
So the goal is to have a stress-free open enrollment.
That's the goal.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today. If you have any questions for Mr. Chris Ciesielski, please reach out to us and let us know. We'd love to cover it as a topic in our Wake Up with NFP.
Well, that concludes our June edition of Wake Up with NFP. We have lots going on the next few weeks. Me and Jess will be on vacation, and we can't wait to get back and share it all with you guys. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.